You know, try not to get away from what brought you up. I know I've been all over the world with the baseball career that I had, and I never forget where I came from. And once you're up, when you're brought up in the church, you know, sometimes you may stray away from it, but you eventually come back to what was embedded in you as a young kid. And I'm speaking of me, so you know, more of that, not that. And I don't mean to say this in the wrong context, but not that church is going to save everyone. Yeah, we want everyone to be saved, but it continually, you need to have that positive influence around you, and it starts at home.
Yeah,
you know, it starts at home. What is said at home, I think it carries you throughout life. And I know with my mom, we knew what was right and wrong, even though you may sway here and there, but you're eventually going to come back on that road to, you know, where me and my brothers and sisters are now, based off of that word that was instilled in us at such a young age.
You know, we have a lot of inspiring athletes out there. Tell us your experience as far as preparing for professional ranks. It could be football, it could be any sports, but what you went through and the emphasis that you put on education too.
Yeah, like I said, I never knew I was good in baseball. You know, I had people keep telling me I was, but I wanted to play basketball because that was a sport, you know, that I looked up as an African-American male. I want to play, I want to play. But the biggest thing, I continued, went to school. I wouldn't say I was the best student, but I loved going to school. I would never miss class unless it was something, you know, of an emergency in regards to my health. So the more I got older, I started to realize that, man, this sport could do something for me. And then my mom saying, well, make sure you get your schoolwork first. So each school that I went to, and earlier I mentioned Hagerstown Community College, my mom didn't have to pay anything because it was an athletic scholarship. And then when I went to Hagerstown, I found out I was even better than I thought I was. And I got pro scouts come around to look at me play.
Wow.
And the first question is, it's amazing after watching the NBA draft last night, everybody mentions what a good young man John Wall is in these different evaluation and interviews that they did. But that's the first thing they say, like, what do you mean, you know, you're obedient, you follow directions of others. A lot of people don't put that in mind, but it's not just the millions that they're offering you. They are investing in you as a person. How are you going to react in the community? How are you going to portray the Washington Wizards in this state when you go out and talk to a school? Or if you go back to North Carolina in the summer, you're still the property of that organization that's investing millions in you. And once again, it comes back to your upbringing. The people that I call are part of your association. Who do you have hanging around you? You may have to get rid of some of those associations.
Exactly.
And they may call you a square, like you mentioned. But bottom line is, are you going to let these other people influence what it's going to make up for you for the rest of your life? Because, yeah, it's all of... Some people think it's about money, but it's not. I just read a book, Ted Leonis, who's now the owner, and it's about called The Business of Happiness. What is going to make you happy? And a lot of people think money does, but money doesn't. It's what's instilled in you and what you believe every day. And with me, I believe that you have to give back, you know, because I'm very blessed to be in a position I'm in, play professional baseball and still kind of got back and have a very good job in making an impact in the community that I'm serving. So I tie it back to your upbringing and your association. You got to sometimes say, can't hang out with you this time.
Right.
Because look at all the...
Well, I think that seems to be the real problem. Not on on this level, and also on the pro level. We have pros that have done the same thing.
Look at the last few instances of athletes and tell me it was association or them being in a place at the wrong time. Always somebody told me nothing good happens after midnight.
Wow. But and it's about character, what Mr. Carter was talking. It's character. When you're raising children, you're building... You want to build a person that is successful and productive in this society. So what you're doing, you're raising either a man or a woman. And in order to do that, you have to impart into those kids character. It's about character.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes. And sometimes, just like Stephen was saying, you know, it's very difficult for a youngster to understand that a lifetime friend, if he's going the wrong way, you have to drop him. Yeah,
Right,
and it's a tough thing, you know, because you're going to be criticized. First thing they're going to say, well, I've known Joe for, you know, since he was in grade school. Well, then they go separate ways when individuals go, no matter how long you've known him, how well you like him, if he's going in the wrong direction, you have to drop him.
Absolutely. I know I used to get a guest speaker in by the name of Zastro Sims out of Annapolis, Maryland. And one of his famous lines was to my students was that everybody does not deserve a front row seat in your life.
Wow.
Right.
That's
They
good.
just don't. All that negative
That's
stuff,
pretty
you
good.
can't hang around negative people. Gotta
Right.
let them go. You gotta cut them off
That's good.
because they'll bring you down.
Right. Stephen, as far as your organization is concerned, give us some ideas that you have for the future.
First thing is getting kids active. I mentioned that throughout our presentation, our talk today, the different programs that we have. But we can offer as many programs as we can, but it's going to take an active approach, meaning getting off our seat, because I think we have come to this instant gratification society. I call it microwavable society, where we want everything so fast, so quick. So I think we need to educate, because, once again, not here to talk about a color, but our people, you know, they're getting diabetes and they're getting all these different diseases at a young age. And to me, it's about what they're putting in their body. Once again,
That's to the wellness.
That's to the wellness.
aspect.
You know, God created our temple for a certain reason, certain things that go in your temple. And don't get me wrong, there are certain situations where people may not be able to get to the healthier type choices, so they're going to eat what's around them. And don't get me wrong, I'll eat things in moderation. So my vision is for people to just become more active, for us to be more committed. You can have all the resources in the world, but it's going to take, to me, vision without action. It's dead.
Okay, well, quickly tell me about a diet for wellness. You know,
A diet for wellness?
Yeah. What do you think is the type of diet that you should have or eating? You know, the French fries. You know, that's one of the favorite things of young people.
And I'm not here. I don't have a degree in that, but my thing is green, load up on your greens, watch your sodium, and like I said, eat things in moderation. If you do like those fries, make sure it's maybe 1 day a week instead of 3 days a week. We did a health employee fitness thing in my job, and I lost 11 pounds in 9 months by increasing my exercise and cutting down on the fat intake in my diet. And you can do it as well. You actually look pretty fit to me. But just stay away from the sodium, the fried stuff, even though we do like our fried fish and fried burgers, but do things in moderation. That's
Okay.
That's
Thank you
key
very
that I
much
have.
for being on the show here, Stephen.
No, it's a pleasure.
I think it's very important, the items that your department there, your chief of that wellness and fitness. And this is basically what we need to think about more, you know, about fitness and wellness. And get involved yourself. Volunteer. That parking planning, they need volunteers in every phase. And the next time someone tells you to do something you're not supposed to do, tell them no. See you next time.
As Girl Scouts and citizens of Bowie, Maryland, we are concerned about the environment. We all need clean air to breathe.
How can we reduce air pollution?
We can use less gasoline for our cars.
How can we use less gasoline?
If your tires are inflated to the proper pressure, you can improve your gas mileage by up to 3.3%.
Reducing gasoline used by cars will reduce the amount of carbon dioxide, CO2, emitted. You'll reduce air pollution.
You'll save money too. What is the proper tire pressure for a car?
Each car is different. The car manufacturer has a recommended tire pressure. The recommended tire pressure can be found at the back of the glove compartment.
The recommended tire pressure can also be found on a sticker on the driver's side door.
The owner's manual for the car will provide this information. Always check.
How do we check the tire pressure for proper inflation?
Tire pressure is measured in PSIs. This stands for pounds per square inch.